experimental hexplate on Mord, what ends up happening is your passive deals 0 damage. So your like movement speed passive. So there's a couple of problems with it. Like I played it twice, and I noticed the problems like very clearly. And maybe that's just because I'm like so actively playing them that like I noticed these subtle differences. One of the things that happens with it is you can't do the QQQ jungle clear. And what I mean by that is like when you have Leandries, you reach a point where on a lot of camps you can like auto Q and then start moving and then QQ and you kill the camp and you maintain passive and you can move through the jungle. But when you have experimental hexplate, what ends up happening is, one, your first clear is slower because your passive is dealing less damage. So that's actually noticeable. You actually you have a couple of seconds slower clear. And then on top of that, what ends up happening is even once you complete experimental hexplate, you can't do the gliding through the jungle QQQs to clear, which I think is actually... I think that's very fucking... I think for him to be able to just do that with one fucking item is not right. It reminds me of, like, old Lilia, when she had, like, steroided fucking damage inside of the jungle, and she just used to be able to move while killing it. Or, like, Season 10 fucking Brand. Or, like, Season 9 Syndra. Or, like, something like this inside of the jungle. It was just... It was really not right. It genuinely just wasn't right. So, his passive is that his basic attacks are empowered to deal 40% AP bonus magic damage on hit, and you go experimental hex, you go experimental plate, this doesn't do anything. Then, the 30% AP here, you don't get this either. So, it feels like there's a lot of damage that's missing. Because this is every fucking, like, this is disturbing, by the way. This is every 0.1, like, this is so stupid in terms of damage. So, you go hexplate, you press R, and, like, yeah, it's really funny, you have enormous amounts of attack speed, and, you know, you auto-attack them, and, like, whatever. But it's like, okay, well, if they flash, it feels really bad. And obviously, if they flash and you have AP, it can equally feel bad, but... If they flash and you have AP, then you're still useful outside of your ultimate, which is very valuable. The other thing about it is, like, because you have the AP, you're not just tied to your ultimate at any point, whereas experimental hexplate, you kind of are. Just, I don't know, man. I think it's ridiculously, like, ridiculously fucking... ridiculously bad. I really think it's very bad. I think it's very, very, very bad. You also hurt, like, the value of the magic pen that you get. I don't know. I think that there's probably merit to it in some comps where you could go it, but I think in general it's probably gonna just be bad. Also, apparently Griffin's supposed to join at one point. Alright, we're post starting, thank God. Just make this a 3-0.